What up, everybody? We are back again. Here we go. We're here, baby, for bigger, better business, where I give you free billion-dollar life lessons. I get on some special guests onto this live, and I talk to them about leadership, about entrepreneurship, about, man, stepping out of their comfort zone, about searching and finding their passion, their vision, what they've done to reach certain levels of success, the type of networks they've built, the people they talk to, the books they read. Man, I've got some very special guests lined up for you guys. I know you guys always miss me when I'm gone, but I really want you guys to enjoy these talks. I want you to enjoy this movement. I want you guys to enjoy just listening to just the different type of people that I bring on here. I don't want to just bring on businessmen or businesswomen. I want to have on singer-songwriters. I want to have on more artists, like my little brother Riley. I want to have more. Maybe I can get another pastor on here. I had Brother Robert Strong on here. Get another pastor. Maybe get I don't know. Maybe I can get a politician on here. I'm gonna get a lot of different people on. So right now we have the legend himself signing in. He is right there.
Okay.
The king of Southern. Matter of fact, the king of the country, king of the world. Can you hear me?
Why? Just because it's got a crown on it?
Yes. No, I say that, and I mean, I honestly mean that because you probably know, if you live in Southern California, you've been here for any time, and you have a relationship with anybody in Southern California, and you say, I know Super Mario, either they know you or three people connected to them know you. You literally
The
know
whole world.
everybody.
There's 3 degrees of separation from everybody.
No, literally, I say 3.
Then I can give you that. I don't know about SoCal, San Diego, far, but
maybe the IE, SoCal, whoever, but I literally posted this, and a girl in my DMs was like, oh yeah, my family grew up with their family. And I'm just like, everybody knows this guy. So that's why I call you the king of Southern California, because literally everybody flipping knows you. Anywho, how are you doing today, brother?
Man, good. Running around like crazy. Let me see. I don't know. Man, these blinds is acting up where the sun's at. I don't know. Man, running around like crazy, man. Feeling good. Just seeing my mom and my grandma for a couple of seconds. Oh,
Okay.
that ain't gonna do it.
I know you look. Now you super right now. That's the light of God coming
Right,
down.
I like
on
it
you.
though.
Like,
I feel that little, I like it, but I gotta get a little better for this.
that's cool. Now, where are you at right now? I know when I asked you to do this, you said you were had flights to catch. I was like, you're that big time where you got to check your schedule for flights now. Most of us are just Zoom meetings. Now you're checking for flights. Where are you at?
Man, I'm at the house, man.
Okay.
But in the morning I go to Orlando.
Oh, got you. Okay, is that for a Herbalife conference?
Yeah, they're like the first people to start doing in-person events. So I'm like, even though we got an in-person, we got a Zoom event, a big event next weekend. I'm up for some in-person events. So me, I'm reckless. I'm down to catch a flight. So I was like, let me get this in-person Herbalife energy, which is just something that you just can't always feel through the computer and through the screens and stuff.
No, I feel you. I wouldn't even call that reckless, man. Honestly, you feel probably like 99% of us at this point. It's like, I just want to see somebody. I want to touch somebody. Now I do know those people who are being cautious and, they're standing back and, they're respecting the boundaries and the 6 feet and all that stuff. But there's a lot of people that are out here who are craving for just human touch, in-person events, the rah-rah, the yelling. I mean, I've been to the Herbalife events and they get rowdy, and I've seen you rock the stage before. So I can only imagine that a lot of people are ready to go see your presence up there.
Oh yeah, I don't know how many people know I'm coming, but it's gonna be crazy just to be in there. I mean, not like I'm famous or nothing, but it's none of us have seen each other for a while, so they might be happy to see me. But I'm definitely excited to get all the hugs in and everything.
Amen to that. Well, you guys, I do want to give a proper, respectful introduction to this man. As I was telling you guys before he hopped on, this is Super Mario. Please say the super when he introduces himself. I'm allow him to give his story, but I will just tell you guys, he is an entrepreneur. He is a business tycoon. He is a pioneer, trailblazer, whatever you want to call it, because this guy, I remember when I met him 12 years ago when he was doing free workouts at Valley College. I was a young
Years, man.
gun.
8 years.
Oh, 8 years ago,
All the
2012.
gas.
I know. And I was like probably 155 pounds, just barely new to California. And somebody invited me and said free workouts. And I thought I was in shape. I was a little ripped up. And I was like, yeah, I'll take a free workout. Like, I'm the most in shape guy there. Like, I got this. And he was out there with me and a couple of friends. We were working out, and he would talk to us at the end. And as you guys can see, he is a true ambassador of Herbalife. And he introduced me to the products. And at the time, I wasn't even a big product guy. I was like, man, I'm just naturally fit. Please, I ran Division I track at Michigan. Like, I don't take no supplements, right? But I will honestly say this right now. When I was presented with the opportunity of Herbalife, I already had done different work for different companies, different networking marketing companies. And at the time, I was so focused on being in law enforcement and being a police officer that I don't like to say I missed the opportunity. It's just I didn't see it for what it was at the time. And then you fast forward 8 years now. I always tell him, I tell Mario all the time, guys, I wish I would have said yes 8 years ago. Because, man, if I would have said yes to that opportunity, I'd be a totally different man. But we're not going to get on that track. I'm just telling you guys, that's how I met him, was at a free workout he was doing. Now he does workouts. He coaches workouts all over this nations, all over SoCal. And so this is Super Mario. Like I said, you better say the super. And go ahead and tell us about your story. Because I hyped you up. I said you have one of the most interesting stories that most people would love to hear. And I know you've given it a lot, so just give it one more time for the people, because people are going to watch this on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram for years and years to come. My kids are going to watch this, and they're going to take gems from this. So tell them about your story. Tell them about who you are.
If the kids going to watch, I got to watch my mouth then.
Yes, this is a family channel, family IG. So yes.
It's Instagram. I was about to give the Snapchat story.
No, not the Snapchat story. You want the Facebook story. So give it to us.
All right, y'all. Thank you, man. Of course, man. Of course, I'm gonna say yes just to sit down and have a conversation to whomever the audience is and is gonna be. For sure. So, Super Mario, please say the super, started Herbalife 8.5 years ago, and like Marc said. Like the first little bit of like my business building was I was actually trying to recreate an experience that I had at Santa Monica Beach with a fit camp, a boot camp that they had out there that just killed me. And of course the workout was, difficult and hype and high energy, but the sand adds that extra resistance and stress and you really will find out that you could be working out harder and everything. But it was the energy and the high five, all that infectious stuff that made me say, I want to have this same feeling, where we at. But what led me to even going to that first one was becoming the Herbalife distributor. And what led me to that was seeing a friend of mine who we had played on the same flag football team. I seen his before and after picture posted on Facebook, and he was like excited about the results and what happened as he got on the products and stayed committed and consistent. And so I asked him about what he was doing, and he told me. I'm thinking he's going to tell me about the workout, right? Which we all want to know what to do to get the whatever. And so I'm like waiting for him to tell me about the tire flipping and the rope swinging. And he said, man, Herbalife. He said, man, I do the shakes. I changed the way I ate. He said, I'm only going to the fit camps, and I'm not knowing what these fit camps were. He said, yeah, we got these group workouts, and then I go to the gym twice a week. So in my mind, when I started, it was like twice a week going to the gym, and I wasn't going to the gym. I was doing like insanity at the house and, put together whatever food I could put together because I was broke. I was eating the big soups, right? Before I was even going by super, I was eating the big top ramen, Super Bowl. In sandwiches, and I was like 3 weeks out of jail, so I had $0 in 2012. Late 2011, I got laid off from my job. Probably 3 or 4 weeks later, got arrested. Man, was all in jail Christmas, New Year's, through the next year. So I was at a point at 30 years old, $0, on probation, 3-year felony probation. Had to do some more house arrest. It was just, all bad, right? But then the opportunity came, And when I signed up, I just ordered the basic products, and my sponsor knew what my goals were. But when I signed up, he said, "Yo, you want to get in the best shape of your life, or you want to make money helping other people get in the best shape of their life too?" And for me, I was like, "Man, both, right?
Right.
BO, two F's, you know what I'm saying?" So I was like, "Yeah, I'll do both." He said, "All right, do this," right? And then what happened was getting my first client happened the very first day that products were even at my house. So that led me to this crazy understanding that it was simple, which I guess most people are just looking for understanding and guidance and clarity about certain things, right? An opportunity, and a lot of us I've joined other multi-level marketing and direct selling stuff, and we're all familiar with some type of it. And if you ever start one of these things, there's this nervousness, like, what did I just do?
Yes. Tell me about it.
And it's gonna be varying depending on what it is. Herbalife was at that time was $70 something to sign up. Right now it's $94. You can do business in 90 countries. And like I did a WFG or something when I back. Yeah, when I did real estate, 15 years ago. So I was introduced to that company through some people I was doing real estate with, and I did the initial thing and paid like all this. It was like $300, a gang of money, and then nothing. I don't even know what happened. I just kind of was like very uninterested. I was hyped up off of the first meeting, but I was kind of uninterested in it, even though I definitely would have loved to make the money of the dude who put on the meeting and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Right. But I got my first client that first day just by taking a picture of the products and putting it on Facebook and saying, "I'm about to get in the best shape of my life." Right. Earn like $600 retailing the products, and then as you start building a team, and the company pays you for that, which is great to direct sell as much as you want, and then build a team as much as you want and get the compensation for that. But so 6 months out of jail, I was already earning. I earned like $6,000 in a month.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, and I'm one of those. I don't know if it's lucky or it's just one of the people who really took advantage of the opportunity, where it made sense, right? And my life has been waiting for something that I could just excel at. That you can get great compensation. Like, you're looking for these type of opportunities. A lot of people don't know that that's what Herbalife is. But a lot of us who are doing well with Herbalife, we look at it like, man, this is easy. Man, I can't believe. I wish I would have found this way. You know what I mean? Like, we all feel like that now. And then so by the time it was 1 year in the business, right, still on felony probation, I was making like about $7,000. This time 7 years ago, I was making $9,000. And then so my first full year in Herbalife, which was 2013, January to December, earned over, 6 figures, and then earned like over 6 figures twice the next year. And then the next year it jumped again by another 100, just building the team. And, we've been working our best to like just keep building the team and, hit different levels of president's team. I'm a president's team member, which is, for anybody who's familiar with like multi-level marketing companies, it would be just the diamond, right? They got rubies and all kinds of stuff. It's basically the diamond, level, I guess, that exists. So, it's been six and a half years of being at that position, which is the longest position I've been in as a press team member and up. And, once I seen the value that I can get for myself, that's what drove me to do the business was, if this could happen for me, right? What happened physically? I didn't even talk about my results. That's a flaw.
We'll get to results. Don't worry. We'll get to results. Keep going. We'll get to results. Keep going.
No, because people talk about I could mix it all in, right?
Okay. We'll get. I got some questions. Don't worry. I got a lot of good questions. So
the products of the star of the show, and I did end up losing 21 pounds of fat. I dropped my body fat percentage down to like 7%, right? And then I put on like the lean mass and still being 39 next week in terms of how like my performance is. And you just worked out with us a couple of times recently. I'm still a beast, right? Like
we still rocking.
And it's really just great to be able to be fueled by that type of stuff. Whether you have the physical aesthetics visually, but just to be able to operate and have like how you feel. But so for that to happen and to be like my current situation, and then to always, I'm always reflecting on how life was 7 years ago, 8 years ago, even 4 or 5 years ago. And, you know, even who I was as a person, like my thought process. And I just have to sit back and always be like, man, if this is possible for me, there's a gang of people who are in my situation, just looking for something, who are like, yo, I can just do well at some simple stuff. Hey, I like people. I want to own my own business. I'm down to learn. I'm listen to Grant Cardone. They're looking for something to apply that what they're motivated from. Even if they listen to like The Rock talk shit on Instagram or anything else, they're looking to apply that to something. And so it's on me to just introduce as many people to the opportunity, and hopefully other people see the same value and they can introduce it, because that's going to build their business. So.
I love it. I love it, man. You just went through like the whole IG chat, and I'm gonna break it down for the people, because you probably dropped like 30 gems in there. I could probably find all 30, but I'm gonna probably stick to like 6 or 7. So my first part is, you said it multiple times. You kept saying, heck, if I can do this, like, why aren't more people hitting the lick legally like this? I'm gonna back up though. Here's the thing. A lot of people, I don't want to say a lot of people, because most people, I mean, I always like to say on my Instagrams, on my messages I give, hey, everybody can't be an entrepreneur. Everybody can't do network marketing. Everybody can't go recruit. Everybody can't do the things that you're talking about doing. I get it. There's people who just love going to work, getting that salary, getting that paycheck. They love it. But then you said something very clear. There's people who are looking at the other side like, look, this can't be life. And the fact that you started this at like 30, 31 years old, yeah, is like, bro, you've lived 3 decades before you hit that lick. So a lot of people are looking for it at 19, 20, 21. Or there's people looking at 65. You never know when you're going to hit it. But I do want you to explain something real quick. You don't have to go into too much detail. But you said I was broke, which we've been there. I was eating top ramen, and you had a felon. My question is, how did you switch that mindset to say, man, look, I'm on probation. I did time in jail. I have no money. What took you over that hump, that hill, to say, I need to go from this mindset to this business mindset, to this mindset that, man, if I just do A, B, C, X, Y, Z, and I follow exactly what my coach and mentor is saying at 30 years old, that I can be successful? What was it for you? Because a lot of people are looking for that answer. As you know, I'm a recruiter myself. Not only do I do Herbalife, but I do financial services. It's like you said, it's all the same thing. Network marketing, it's the same thing under the sun. Just I might do insurance and annuities, and you sell, herbal shakes and vitamins, but it's the same thing. So back to my question, what took you to that mindset from, I'm in the crappiest position you can be in? Like, I have an F on my record. How do I become this tycoon that I am now? What was that shift? I'm not. I mean it with all my heart, man. I mean it.
Tycoon, right? I think so. I'll just give a perspective based off like observation mixed with experience, mixed with being a very honest with myself person. Okay. So it was all self-actualization. It's all like self-realization. It's all, who am I? Most people, in a smidgen of the fiber of their being, understands how great they are, understands they're like made by God, right? Mm-hmm. I'm definitely one of those people. But then there's this, how do you act? And I definitely didn't act. I acted with a lot of fear my entire life. And, and the fear leads you to do things like quit, not put forth your full effort, hold yourself back from really diving and getting into, sometimes it's sacrificing, sometimes it's the vulnerability of being successful. Even getting straight A's is something that you have to really like have a different kind of mindset to do, and everything else like that. So I lived the life of somebody who I consider myself blessed, great health, great genetics, regardless if people think being 5'5" is good or not genetics. I got great skin. I ain't never had a cavity or broken bone. I feel like I got good genetics, and I'm smart, but I don't ever want people to understand like my own actual physical, like my intellect to be really what helped me, right? My intellect just helped me process things a little bit more and simplify it, but it's not really what was like this switch, you know what I mean? And so for me, I just made a lot of mistakes, right? And that's from knowing who I am, and then having already been committed, it feels like, to living a fearful life. And so when innately are and who you are acting physically, right? This area of separation is where most people are depressed at. Right? I'm great. I'm a child of God. I can do anything. I'm destined for greatness. I keep on quitting. I keep on BS, and I keep on making. And people make decisions, and they know it's wrong to drink. They know everything they do. They know that it's not benefiting them. Right? I knew that the things I did was reckless. I knew when I was doing something that was, lacked integrity. I knew when I was down to do some illegal stuff. Like, I knew all of it. And you just do this. It's a cycle. I also used to drink every day, so that's part of the story too. I drink every single day. 2 DUIs right now. Waiting for the first one to fall off. So it's 10 years I gotta wait. So the last one falls off next year, right? So my insurance can go down. My insurance for these nice ass Mercedes are expensive.
I would say, what's the insurance of a DUI on a red Mercedes? What's that insurance look like?
Man,
man.
Like, 6 months is 27, 28, some crazy stuff. I'm talking to the dude again. He said, look, call me back, man, and we'll do it again, man. But right now, this is some of the stuff, right? But, to wrap it around, the alcoholism, along with how your life is, so the alcoholism too, and this may benefit people as they're dealing with people or just themselves, is I know what I am, but I don't do it, so now I can't deserve to get back to where I am. And it's just this self-destructive cycle, that you get caught into and say, well, I don't deserve to feel better. I don't deserve anything because I'm not doing anything. And it's like, no, well, just do the thing instead of punishing yourself. It's all punishment. Nobody likes drinking that much. It's a punishment disguised as having a lot of fun, disguised as liking to turn up. That's why people look miserable. Who wants to be like that? And so I started off back to not drinking, all that other stuff, and it's all wrapped together. So hopefully some of these points are catching because I be going. And so when Herbalife happened, there were things that already was setting me up to kind of just be into a different mode. And so I said, I know me. I knew that I was a shortcutter. Right? Do homework, show your work. I don't want to show my work because I can look at it and tell you the answer. So it's like, I'm just not going to do a process, which the process isn't about making sure you're not cheating. The process is to be coachable, is to be obedient, things like that. A lot of times we're just forced to do things, and it's a test in the doing of it, not the test in the answer of it or the result of it, right? And I know that I'm a shortcutter, and I said, okay, I know me. Every time I'm presented with these thoughts of yay or nay, let me go with the opposite of who I have already been.
Yes.
So I normally would skip this. Let me do that. I normally wouldn't do that. Let me do that. And that's a daily decision to be ready to have those type of choices and to curve your way to what your future greater self would get compared to you being your usual suspect.
Yes, doing the same thing. Keep bumping your head against the wall. Man, that was good, man. That was good. Okay, so here's the deal, too. This is something I also want to address. Now, you've built the team. You've created the culture. My question is for people like me who are still in the early stages of building a massive team, who's working on leadership, leading people to the charge. Because you said that in the very beginning. You were pushed, you liked the environment, you liked the rah-rah, like that's what really enticed you at the first workout, was made you want to come back more to not only know like, man, what's the workout about, but you were also taught about the product. But somebody like me who is building his own, wanting to build more offices, expand across the country, how did you build that culture? Because I've seen the videos. I've seen the videos of you and your team dressed in all white in Mexico and other places. You're traveling on the company's dime or you're paying for it for yourself. But I want to go back to how did you build that fun culture? Like, how did you get people to buy into that? Like, how did you get people to keep coming back to not only use the products themselves and lose weight, but then the people that were like, hey, I'm going to become a distributor so I can teach more people about the Herbalife culture? Because a lot of times, anybody can go buy shakes and vitamins from GNC. There's all types of different companies out there. My question is, how did you get people to buy into Herbalife? Because I know it wasn't just a company. A lot of it had to do with you. How did you get people to buy into you and the culture that you created? How did you do that?
The first thing, obviously, it got to be the product. So I was like a product of the product.
Yes.
Right. And, most of us aren't product type people and don't realize we should even take something as simple as like a multivitamin and things like that. So you're already going into a realm of great value before we even get into drink a shake every day and everything else. And then you experience them and you see that the shakes are really good. And then for me, understanding the basics of what the shakes were made it very simple to give somebody, say, okay, why Herbalife? Oh yeah, low calorie, great amount of nutrients, great amount of protein. If you do take 2 shakes a day, you're not deficient in anything. People, oh, okay, cool. And then you make them something amazing. So everything was about the wowness, like how good is it? The tea, the aloe. This is a very, very light tea, so y'all don't judge me. But a lot of aloe. It tastes amazing. So when you're telling somebody, yo, this is going to give you energy, guess what? They're going to drink it, and it's going to be immediate. So those things helped with getting people on the products, and then everybody understands it's a distance to go to getting great abs or losing 100 pounds. In terms of business culture and team culture, or even just if it was like coming to a workout culture, is I didn't create it. I duplicated it.
Mm-hmm.
It was seeing people that were already successful doing things and hearing, videos of the founder and what he would do at, say at trainings, and any training I would go to, I became a student and a sponge. And so I had to come.
Uh-oh, did we lose him?
I'm,
He might be getting the call. Everybody stand by. Don't panic. There we go. I got you back.
I didn't go nowhere. I didn't know. I think,
okay, you're good now.
yeah. So, I had to, I just follow what everybody was, doing and what they were saying. And anybody that was training on stage, because I was a blank slate, because like I said, removing the ego and removing the cockiness that I might have had just regularly in life, being who I was. Like I said, this is knowing yourself. I said, I can't lead with that. Right? I can't lead with being a know-it-all. Let me just go know-it-all first. And then I can apply my own confidence and my own like vigor to the things that I want. And so when you go there, you don't know nothing, and then somebody treats you good, and you're saying, I need to make sure I treat people good. And you go somewhere, and then like they say, okay, this is why we do certain things, and then you feel it, and then it's like, oh, they're giving us the ways on how to make sure that we create a great landing place for everybody in whatever mood they are or wherever they are in life, that they can be thrown in, and we got a soft landing spot.
That's
right?
good.
And then in terms of how to keep people in, is I had to do the work first. I had to be the proof of everything. So obviously the products got proof, right? I mean, I lost 10 pounds in a week, so I'm convinced. And then getting that first client by just posting a simple picture, and then how fast the income grew, I had to stay speaking that and then speaking about what's next. So if you're surrounding yourself with people who are doing something bigger and better than you, but you're in the same field, then all you're doing is you have the vision for what can be ready for you. And if you have a team with you, you say, man, we are next. But then you do it. And then you just stay in this small, like a lane. A lot of people, they want to like see stuff and then got to go do their own thing. You do your own thing as in your own independence, but you stay in a very narrow lane because you can fit more people in that lane, even though it's narrow, right? It's not giving people as much space to go, hey, where are we going? Where are we going? No. We're going here.
Right. Focus.
It's here. There's nothing but close walls around us. We're not looking. We're not being distracted. We're going here. Who got lost? Nobody, because you're literally, you can't even get out. It's back to back to back to back. And you stay there. And then you don't change. So if you even ask my team, and they could be brand new, been in for a couple of years, or been in since the beginning, the way that I teach and train never changes. I almost really write things out, write the compensation out. I write it out exactly the way I learned it. And even though some numbers have changed as it's evolved and stuff, I still write it out in the exact same way to keep it so simple, to make it so that you don't have to go anywhere. Because if I did it and made it to where I did top 1% in 2 years, why would you need to do it even different or better?
Amen.
Going to be better than me or faster than me, right? And it's not a knock. It really is some amazing stuff that's very, very rare. But I didn't do it outside of what I learned. So why would you try to do it outside of what you learned if you're trying to get this much speed or this much growth or this much size?
Yes.
And if you want to go out there, guess what? There's just walls to bump into, or it's a very long way. I'm still giving you the fast path because I'm staying on it and I don't change my language. If you go this way, even one step, you're already taking a longer path than the path that I walked and that I'm laying out for y'all.
That's so good. I'm gonna have to rewatch that and take notes myself, because that I personally have experienced literally people getting started on Herbalife and saying, oh, I want to do it this way, and then don't get the results. Or even in the financial industry, we teach them the system. We let them know, like, okay, this is week 1. Okay, this is week 2. Okay, this is month 1. And then by the 4th day, they're like, oh yeah, I want to do it my way. Yeah. And then what happens? They quit, or they're not successful. Then they try to blame me, or they blame whoever. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can go on a whole different tangent, but that's so crazy because you said have that vision, stick to that vision, and go for it. Like that was nuggets. I'm gonna have to rewatch that one. I like that one a lot. Now, you're talking about the products and you're talking about the results. I want to address something. I kind of want to ask you a question. But first, you're still vegan, right?
No, I actually was never. I was probably vegan for like half a month.
Okay, so you eat meat now.
I'm gonna explain it real quick.
Okay.
I won't go into how long I've been talking.
You're good.
I stopped eating meat. I stopped doing everything, right? So meat's gone. And then I was like, yo, it's very difficult for me. So I reintroduced eggs, and then I slowly reintroduced fish. And then I traveled so much, I would eat meat while I was traveling, some chicken, steak. I mean, it's so different eating like Brazilian steak and eating steak in Paris. I was like, I'm not about to not eat this Michelin 3-star steak in Paris. I'm about to partake, right? And then I was in South Africa for 2.5 months during COVID this year, and I ate a lot of meat. And so I've been eating meat this whole time up until 2 days ago. So I'm back eating eggs and fish, and I'm off meat again.
Okay. I got it. Well, my question is too, because I know that a reason why I asked, because if you were vegan, I know that's a very dedicated tunnel vision lifestyle. Like, you got to be mindful of everything you eat. I personally don't know if I could ever do it because I love ribs and I love bacon way too much, but that's a whole nother conversation. I am, but I still have the best abs on the West Coast. Like, I still have yet to see anybody with better abs than me. So until somebody has better abs, I'm gonna eat my bacon. That's the Jamaican in me. I don't know what it is, but nonetheless, I still have the best abs on the West Coast. I'm not giving up ribs and bacon. But I say that because I personally, and we might hurt some feelings, I don't know. We might have to get off the IG Live insurance bucket. But I personally feel when it comes to health and fitness, it is most of the time it's one of the most challenging industries, because we're fighting food industry, we're fighting fast food, we're fighting bad habits, bad culture. And I recently got into a conversation with someone close to me, and to make the long story short, we were talking about why people have diabetes, why people are obese, why people are overweight. And their side was, well, we need free healthcare in America because people are unhealthy. And I'm like, well, what's the bottom line of this?
Right.
Well, we just need it. People are trying to take it away. And I'm like, but what's the bottom line? And I said, it's obesity. It's being overweight. It's having an improper diet. It's not taking Herbalife. But we come from this culture where, what do we eat at Thanksgiving? Chitlins and collard greens and candy yams and fried chicken. We eat all this bad food. And the only rebuttal this person had was, well, do you know what we had to eat as slaves? And I'm just like, but we ain't been slaves for like centuries. Well, that's in our culture. And I'm like, but what if we shifted the culture to eat healthy? What if we wanted to strike from McDonald's like the bus boycott for like a year and a half and didn't eat fast food? Do you know how many unhealthy people, let alone unhealthy Black people, there would be? What is it? Like, how do you shift that culture? I mean, I get it. I love Herbalife. You give somebody an Herbalife plan. Like, I just picked up a new client 3 weeks ago. On her first 10 days, she lost 5 pounds. 10 days, boom, like that, right? I have her send me the scale, but that's because I'm coaching her and I'm on her every day. Send me the scale. What did you eat? What did you exercise? I'm shifting her mindset and shifting that culture from I got to have fast food to I got to watch what I eat and have some shakes and some vitamins. So I know that was kind of a lot, but one thing that bothers me is that people use this excuse of culture and what we eat and what we can afford and da, 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 da. And I'm like, but we don't have to live that life anymore. We don't have to always eat fast food and always eat top ramen. Yeah, sometimes we get there, but you can shift it to where, man, it's 80% of the struggle. I don't want to say the struggle, of the challenge of getting healthy. It's 20% exercise, 80% nutrition. How do we shift people to that healthy lifestyle? How do we beat those fast food restaurants? How do we beat that unhealthy mindset? Do you have an answer? How did you do it? I need the people to know, because I feel like sometimes I'm fighting it alone, even though I know I have my Herbalife family. But a lot of times I feel like I'm fighting alone because people just want to be overweight. And I'm a life insurance guy. So when they pop up with diabetes too, and they done have multiple surgeries and all this stuff, and I'm trying to write their policy may go from $60 to 170. Why? Because that little factor, oh, I got diabetes, or oh, I'm overweight. So I'm just wondering, like, how do you shift that? Like, what is your take on it? How do we get people from just bad culture when it comes to food to a healthier culture? How do we do that, brother? Talk to me.
I feel like it's, you know, it's because we keep saying the word culture. That's really what it is, and it's a lack of culture, and it's so culture is what's going to influence you. So either you have what your parents and grandparents are doing. For sure, I love soul food like crazy, you know. But my mom and grandma know better. Hey, do you want us to cook you some fish? Like, they know I'm gonna just come in here like, no, I don't want that cheesy stuff. My grandma's gonna give me bread with stuff. We just gotta eat bread with everything. You know, I'm on them tough, and of course they have shakes and everything else too. So it comes with being very hard like that, and not just giving into, hey, we're Mexican, so we eat tortillas and rice and meat. Like, you know, I got clients that say that too. But if you just want to speak about, you know, quote unquote black people, they're already victims. Just so as you're having this conversation and somebody says we need healthcare, there is a complete lack of accountability with our demographic. People don't want to be accountable. People, even while this whole election and stuff, you can see it. You can see it across every single sector in every industry in every part of life, where we'll take the victimhood and the lack of accountability. So we're looking for people to give us something and change stuff. So I seen a post and somebody said, well, so I guess they were doing a quote, and somebody said, hey, we've done more for black people. And at the bottom it said, well, why do black people still need help? And I have to just type in real quick, like, we don't need help. We need to help ourselves. We need to hold each other accountable. But when we hold each other accountable, they've already created this other culture that will make it seem, the shaming culture cancels out the accountability. So if you shame somebody for how they act, how they live their lifestyle, which is very unproductive to themselves, and in terms of their contribution to the whole, right? All of us need each of us need all of us. It takes a village. So if you're doing things to put a burden on the village, then you have to be addressed by the village. And then what we do is we have this new culture. It's not ours, but it exists now, where if you do want to hold somebody accountable, then now it's shaming, now it's judgment, now it's all this other stuff, when you're really trying to say, hey, look, we're trying to get my family better. And when I say my family, I'm talking about the family structure of black people, of how are we operating, right? So that we can have better progression. I'm trying to get our mindset better so that we make better financial decisions. Like, you're in that realm where you get a chance to have those conversations. You know, things that we can do where no matter who's in office, no matter what systematic things, you know, are against us or what's happening anywhere, that has nothing to do with what we create with like-minded people, same culture, right? Just because we the same color don't mean we're the same culture. But if I'm only around people where we do things a certain way, then our culture, we're not affected by everything. No, we're not, you know, diabetic in terms of being overweight because we do certain things. No, we don't do this because we do, you know what I'm saying? And so we have this whole culture of, hey, we don't have all these single mothers in our, I'm about to go somewhere.
That's what I'm saying. No, you there. You there. I feel you.
Hey, look, Super don't care about nothing because it's bigger than people's feelings.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than people's feelings if this is the conversation. I don't know if it's conversation we talking about.
It kind of is. You can dip in and dip out. Yes.
Yeah. It's all inclusive. It says, well, if this has an effect that goes further and this has an effect that goes further, so we can talk about health and why the culture of people have something, but then we got to say, well, if they want free health care, man, I ain't trying to go to the doctor ever. So what do we need free healthcare for if you're not trying to go to the doctor ever? If it's your intention to live a life where you actually like repulsed by the idea of going to a hospital. Like it really is like, I don't ever, man, if that's why people are having babies at the house. Like they don't want anything to do with how Western medicine is, right? You know, we'll take all technology and things that can help us, right? Sterilization, I'll take all of that, but nobody wants to go in there and take pills. Nobody wants to go do chemo. Nobody wants to go take shots and have all this other crazy stuff. And it's like, but are we gonna just be victims and say we don't have access to it? We need access to it, folks.
Man.
We got Planned Parenthood. You can't buy your own condoms, like, you know, like
right. That's what, right. And you said it so clear, and I'm hoping people catch this. Go back and rewind it. One, we need to stop being the victim. Two, he made it very clear. If you don't want A, or if you don't want C, if you know A plus B equals C, well, don't do A and don't do B, or change it up, and you won't have to deal with C. You won't have to deal with obesity. You won't have to deal with poverty. You won't have to deal with all the negative that comes with a situation. That's what he's clearly saying to you guys. And I'm really trying to stick to the healthy eating part. But again, this is bigger, better business. This affects your business. This affects your life, your family, developing a culture, hanging around people of like-minded people. And that's something that him and I have a lot in common. Is I love my Herbalife family. I love them. I love being around them. And I made the shift into the financial world, but every now and then I like to dip back into Herbalife because it reminds me, like, we're all doing and thinking the same thing, and being around that environment, man, it fires me up. Because like he said before, and I'll move on to my last point, there are days where, man, I'm tired and I'm exhausted and I've had a long day, and I've had client after client after client after client tell me, no, I don't want to do business with you. No, I don't want to be recruited. And then I'll go to a fit camp, and this dude would have me full sweating, about to die. And I'm like, give me some more. Why? Because I'm around people who are just ready to better themselves. And that's the type of environment we need to get around. And that's going to affect the way you think and affect the way you eat. Because if he has nice abs and my abs are slipping, low key, I'm going to be thinking in my mind, like, hey, I got to catch up to this guy. And then he might be vice versa. He might follow up for a little bit, you know, because he might too busy traveling and driving Lamborghinis and all that stuff. He might follow up, but then he'll see your boy with the Superman flex, and he might be like, I need to get together. So
I need to
get around that environment. I do want to talk about the flex real quick, and then we're going to have to wrap it up. But I want to share this story with you guys that really motivated me. And I want you guys to understand that it's okay to have money, because money gives you options. Because here's what happened. It was 2000. I joined Herbalife in 2014. And I actually stepped away, and I came back in 2016. But in 2016, a lot of y'all know, if you follow me, I was let go from the police department in 2016. So I had no job. I had a kid to take care of. And I was like, what the heck am I going to do next? And I was looking at Super's Snapchat story. And this fool posted a picture of his check. And I remember the number 17,000. And then another week went by. And then the number 17,000 again. Now, I was like, did this fool make this much money? And what? I saw some of that money, that type of money in PHP before, but I was like, how do you make that money and selling shakes, traveling the world? And I hit him up, and I was like, how do I get back on? And he was like, hey, I got a boy named Brian. He's out in LA. He connected me with Brian. You guys saw the interview I did with Brian. Brian's another great titan in Herbalife. But that just showed me that this guy stuck to it. He committed to it. And that was 2016. So 4 years later, still a tycoon, still making money. So I want you to talk about that, man. I don't know if you're a capitalist. People kind of shy away from capitalism and having money. I'll tell people, like, look, money's going to change my life, my son's life, and the future life, generational wealth forever and ever. I believe in money. If you don't believe money can buy happiness, hell, I'm going to find out on my own. But I want you to talk about that. Like, what has money and success, and what has that done for you? How's that changed your mindset? How's that helped your family? Like, give us a little background about how going from being broke to eating top ramen to being, you know, in the top 1% of this nation. How's that changed your life? And what do you encourage others to do when it comes to being financially free?
Man, first off, it's top 1% of the world.
Excuse me.
This just the Herbalife world, guys. I'm broke, baby. I'm broke. This Herbalife world. Nah, I mean, like I said, if you start off on zero, so starting off on zero meant, like, I was applying, you know, I was getting unemployment. Mm-hmm. Like that. 30 years old, 30, basically 30 and a half. I had just went to the office to apply for food stamps. Like it was like that where I was at. I'm like, okay, I don't know how long it's gonna take to get a job. I got a felony. I think when this 450 ain't gonna be enough to sustain my adulthood. Let me go get these food stamps. So this will take care of food, and this other stuff will take care of, like, I have to live, right? I gotta pay bills. So then be able to make the money. At the end of the day, it's most people, and I love what we do in Herbalife, is most people's problems can be solved with them having better financial situation and better physical health. Mm-hmm. When you do that, right, you're literally probably dealing with 99.9% of what you have issues with, daily, the things that like bother you, the things that you gotta have in your brain, they're gone. And then what you're doing is having to make the decision on who to be around and what environments to be around. But if you're doing it the right way, then your family's changing as you're doing that. So you're empowering your family to make better financial decisions or be more entrepreneurial and grow their income. And you're encouraging your family to then have better health. So now I don't have problems. I talk to a lot of people and they're like, oh yeah, I got some family things going on. What's going on with your family that has to do with you? It's them, let it be them, because you have to be in a place where you have to protect yourself. So if your family, you got a crackhead, and then you got somebody else that's dealing with the crackhead, you should let them deal with it. And then go there and then give them options and then step away for your own sanity so that you can be as good as you can be for next time you had to go back. Otherwise, you're going to get pulled. And so what you do is you stay in a great place and then just bring people to your place instead of you going from your place to their place. Like, why would I leave this high place that I'm at and then go there? And so, but being able to, I took my grandma to, she went to the DR with us for her 80th birthday. My aunt had never been outside of the country. I got a chance to take her. That same trip was her first time ever leaving out of the country, 50-something years old. And we all went to Jamaica again. And so to be able to like fly my mom, my grandma, my aunt, like first class, it's just, like, that's whatever. And there's other stuff that we can do. And
no, that's amazing. Don't downplay that. That's right? Amazing.
No, for sure. And you like pay other bills and all kind of stuff. They're old. They can't drive. I'm not buying them like new cars or nothing like that. Like what I look like. But in terms of if the car needs something or if they need something, it's gonna always be there. So to be able to be the lifeline for people, I've one of my cousins passed a couple years ago, and I sat there and like was watching my aunts and like people arguing over money, and I was just like, well, I got this meeting to go to in Hawaii. Let me write this check. I love you guys. I'm with y'all right now. My cousin's gone. Like, she already know what's up right before, but I gotta go. And me going was what helped me be able to still be able to do even all the other things that I'm doing to this day. And so to be able to be that lifeline for whoever you guys have around you, like, it's a big deal. And to be able to have the stuff, and I hate when people try to downplay the capitalism. I don't even say capitalism. Like, it's a capitalistic society. Like, we have to live in it, right? We have to get the things. But I hate when people try to downplay, like, oh, I met this millionaire and he had a couple $100 million and he had like these little dirty ass shoes and he drives a Kia. Look, those aren't fun to drive. It's not a matter about, hey, I would never do that if I had the money. It's, have you driven? My car is fun to drive. I got the 4-door GT. The 2-door GT was even more fun to drive. That's what I wanted, right? When I was little, we would say, tap, tap my car, tap, 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 right? I'm sure a lot of y'all did that. That's my car. Yep. My car. It's still, you get to be the one to drive that, and you get to see the tap, tap happening.
Yes.
Right? Yes. It's served for a different purpose. It's not just me, right? It's some people, they don't conceptualize what you do and the income around it, that they have to see what income gets you.
Yes.
All this stocks, and you can have a portfolio worth millions. That millions of portfolio doesn't do anything until you make it do something for you that's tangible.
Yes.
Right? You have to see it, and then they can say, dang, I would like to do that with building a portfolio with making some income. So you have to find ways to connect. I had season tickets to the 49ers.
Niners game, Niner Nation, bang, bang.
So I would fly from SoCal, Ontario Airport to San Jose and stay at the hotel across, boom, boom, come down. That's tangible to people. Like, I would want to do that part of the lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I would like to drive a car. I would like to take my mom on a trip. I would like to have nice shoes. You're doing stuff, and you're forced to almost, if you're recruiting, to do stuff in a way to at least show people what could be possible for as many ways of their life that they would want to improve. I sit, courtside when I go to basketball games. Some people are like that. So I'm creating this thing where they be like, that's possible for me in what I'm doing because he does what I do only. I only do Herbalife, right? So now I'm just giving, for me, I have to give people reasons to do it. Just like if you tell somebody, hey, do this, go to school and do that, you need to show them proof on why it makes sense for them to go school, boom, 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 do that. Either it's the impact, hey, man, I'll surgically help somebody out. Does that make somebody else say, hey, I want to do that? But since most of us aren't doing like direct impact, monumental stuff like that, then we have to help somebody. Hey, I got this person out of the hood. Like my other president's team member, he lived on Date Street in San Bernardino. Hey, and now he, you know what I'm saying? So now he got, Range Rover, takes care of his daughters, like, high level of president's team. You have to have something tangible for people to say, look, this is what you can do for you and other people. You can't just be hidden and say, it's not about the money, and I'm just going to, hoard it all in silence, be modest and everything else like that. And, have humble, which is dimming your light. I'm not going to dim my light. I'm going to do as much as I can in as much fun as I need to do it. Nothing excessive. I don't have to be excessive. I could just say, hey, I just want to do the things that I like. And most of it's going to attract some people. So let's stay in high attraction mode.
Amen. Oh my God. You just I like when you got fired up and you were like, what? Oh, I love it. But hey man, we only got about 7 minutes because IG only gives me an hour. I know I need a podcast. People keep telling me so I can go longer. But for now, I'm giving you guys this quick hour. And I will just tell you guys, I got one more question from Mario, but you guys,
you just told him please say the super and then you're gonna say Mario.
Oh, man. Super Mario, my bad. Super Mario, my bad. I still know you as the guy 8 years ago. But anywho, Super Mario, thank you for the gems. You guys go follow him at Super Mario IE. I know somebody mentioned about, more of these. Hey, I go to my YouTube page, Marc Cooks Inspires. It's MarcCooks Inspires. Under the tab, Bigger, Better Business. All my interviews are there of all the people I've done. I'm going to post this on there so you can rewatch it. It's also going to be my Instagram, which you're on now, _AMC. Thank you, Super Mario, for being on. We might have to do a part 2. Maybe I might join you on one of these trips to Hawaii or the DR. I don't know. I love Herbalife. I love what Herbalife does. My last question for you is going to be, I always ask this question at the end for everybody. We got about 4 or 5 minutes, is when everybody looks at your life, because everybody has a beginning and everybody has an end, from 19 when you were born to 2000 when you pass away, there's always that little dash on the tombstone. And I always ask people, while you're on earth, what do you want to be known as? Like, what do you want people to remember you as? So when you're gone and your legacy lives on, what do you want that little dash to be when people thinking about Super Mario McKinley?
I think that, let me see, real, no. That,
of course, IE baby game.
Of course. I think that I do my best to be as authentic as possible, so that people can really get that from me, and so to be remembered as somebody who cared, not like in the how people care, and I'm about to go save the whales and stuff care, but when we are in interaction, right? Like I'm really talking to you for you to have a transition, for you to have a change, for you to have, some progress, for you to have something that's going to, what they say, let it sizzle on you, right? I'm literally every single time I'm talking to somebody, even if I might come across like an asshole to some people and it's like short and it boom, but even that in itself, when you kind of shrug somebody off and you give them something like real quick, if they're in the right place, they're like, oh, that's all I needed. I'm looking for some. People look for like nice stuff. People look for like some frilly and foo-foo stuff. And sometimes you just, damn, he served me something spicy. And that's like a ginger shot. I'm trying to be a ginger shot to people. And every single time I was around Soup, he gave me something.
Yes.
Right? It's always bars. It's always nuggets. It's always, I'm coming from a place of saying, can I give value to somebody? Right? And sure, we can be like frivolous and have fun and clown and, all that other stuff too. But in the mix of it, it's, with as good attention as I can, I'm trying to give somebody. And I think I'm doing a great job of that. And I definitely want that, man. I'm not a nice guy, but I'm kind. He's a kind guy. I'm not nice. I'm not a nice guy. Don't get it twisted.
I know.
Don't get it twisted, ladies. Right? but I'm kind. I'm generous. I'm benevolent. Right? Super generous. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Welcoming. Right? All of that stuff is what I want to be known for. And I've gone to so many funerals. And as I go to funerals of people who were really who were older and who had like kids and had a chance to be like a great father, and then also be, by proxy a father to like their kids, friends and stuff like that. It always puts me back into a mode of like change, be better. You know what I mean? So hopefully, they know me as somebody who was always working on being best. And, when that time comes, like the best thing would be is like, yo, he was an awesome, 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 awesome father, and if that day never comes, I'm about to be the most awesome father figure, uncle figure, role model to, whoever is around me and whoever needs, some of that masculine energy.
Man, I appreciate it. And again, I say this for everybody to hear when you guys watch this decades from now. He's doing a great job now. He's one of those people where I've never really fallen off Herbalife. Literally the 6 years that I've been in, I've gone super hard. Like at one point I went super hard and I'm refocused. One point I go super hard. But my point is, whenever I reach out to Super Mario, he always answers. And then when I see him after not seeing him for years, he always shows me mad love. And I can ask him anything, whether it's about products, whether it's about business, entrepreneurship. When I asked him to get on this, it was a yes. And I honestly, not to get too emotional, but I'm so glad that I'm connected to you and Brian. Like for real, you guys have been amazing. Not even just as like Herbalife people, but like big brothers that I've always wanted, because when I reach out to y'all, y'all literally answer. It's never a battle trying to get to y'all. And y'all are literally kings in the industry, kings in entrepreneurship, kings in business. So my respect to you. And my last note is, if you guys are interested in Herbalife and you hear this, I'll just say this. If you know Super and you like his message, definitely connect with him. He's a titan in the industry. I'm still a distributor. So if you want to work with your boy, I'm still hard in the game because I'm just as passionate. As you guys know, that's one of my pillars is finances and physical, and finances and health. I want you to be physically healthy and I want you to be financially wealthy. So I'm still in the game. So you can reach out to either one of us if you want to get connected to Herbalife or anything else. Check out his Instagram. Check out my Instagram. Thank you again, Super Mario. IG's telling me I got 1,050,000 left. So until we talk again, we're going to have to do a part 2. Hey, stay black, keep repping. And
hey, man, 3 hours. It was popping, man.
Hey, man. Hey, we'll come back. Bang, bang, Niner gang.
For sure. Peace.
I'll let you, brother. Yes, sir. Stay blessed. Woo, so you guys saw, and Bigger Better Business gets more and more fire. I'm hoping you guys like that. Again, go to my YouTube, Marc Cooks Inspires, MarcCooks, Inspires, INSPIRES. That's on YouTube. You'll see my picture. Go to the YouTube page, click on Bigger Better Business. You have all my talks from everybody I've spoken with, had on IG Live. Share, comment with anybody you believe will find value with these messages. As you saw, he brought fire. I wish we had more time, but one day I'll get that podcast. I don't know when. Maybe I should start it next month. But until then, I'm here every Thursday, 3 p.m. West Coast time, PST, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come check us out. Until next time, you guys, remember I always tell you, always lead with love, because you're going to have the opportunity. You're going to see somebody in a situation where you can better their situation. You can better their life. You can better their mood. You can better their attitude. And I suggest that you lead with love and you act on their behalf. You make them laugh. You make them smile. You get better at being yourself. MC Inspires. Until we talk again, Black Superman, go out and be great. Be phenomenal. Let's go. See y'all next week.